Hi everyone, and welcome back to Reader's Workshop. So today we're going to really focus on envisionment, and we're going to really focus on seeing and hearing inside the text. So to start today, I want you to close your eyes. And for 10 seconds, I want you to just listen to your home, your house, and your neighborhood. Just listen to everything around you. Close your eyes. What sounds did you hear? If the sounds you made you picture something in your head, say that. What did you hear? What did it make you picture? Did you hear layers of noises? Far away, I heard a truck beeping down the street, and I could also see that in my mind. Closer, I heard footsteps from upstairs, and I picture my neighbors leaving their apartment. And in this very room, I can hear my dog crying because she's sad she's not a part of our lesson. This skill of listening and really picturing things in your head is so important when you're reading intensely to grow ideas. We've worked on all these skills, but one really important one I want to teach you and remind you today is that when reading intensely to grow ideas, strong readers make movies in their heads. When reading intensely, readers can't just read with their eyes. They need to use everything, the images, the mood, the sounds, to make movies in their heads as they read. This helps them understand the story more and also helps to paint a picture. Let's be alert as we're rereading part of our Tiger Rising story today. We're going to hear sounds of the story, we're going to see sights of the story, and fiction readers often read in a way that lets them get lost in a story. There's a knock on the door in the story, and it's almost like there's a knock on the actual door. So we're going to revisit this idea and try to make a movie in our mind as we reread part of The Tiger Rising today. I'm going to read it, and I want you to listen, one, how I'm reading it to really get a picture in my mind. And as I'm reading it, I want you to take a second to draw either on a piece of paper or even just in your mind what's happening in this part of chapter 2. So quickly, take a second, go get your paper, and come back when you're ready and press play. All right, readers, do you have your piece of paper? Do you have it ready in your mind to start? Let's revisit chapter 2. "Looky here," said Norton Threemonger, as soon as Rob stepped onto the school bus. "It's the Kentucky Star. How's it feel to be a star?" Norton stood in the center of the aisle, blocking Rob's path. Rob shrugged. "Oh, he don't know," Norton called to his brother. "Hey, Billy, he don't know what it's like to be a star." Rob slipped past Norton. He walked all the way to the back of the bus and sat down in the last seat. "Hey," said Billy Threemonger, "you know what? This ain't Kentucky. This is Florida." He followed Rob and sat down right next to him. He pushed his face so close that Rob could smell his breath. It was bad breath. It smelled metallic and rotten. "You ain't a Kentucky Star," Billy said, his eyes glowing under the brim of his John Deere cap. "And you sure ain't a star here in Florida. You ain't a star nowhere. Picture this in your head. Picture what's happening. Sketch it down." "Okay," said Rob. Billy shoved him hard. And then Norton came swaggering back and leaned over Billy and grabbed hold of Rob's hair with one hand and with the other hand ground his knuckles into his scalp. Rob sat there and took it. If he fought back, it would last longer. If he didn't fight back, sometimes they got bored and left him alone. They were the only 3 kids on the bus until he got into town, and Mr. Nelson, the driver, pretended like he didn't know what was going on. He drove staring straight ahead, whistling songs that didn't have any melody. Rob was on his own, and he knew it. "He got the creeping crud all over him," Billy said. He pointed at Rob's legs. "Look," he said to Norton. "Ain't it gross?" "Uh-huh," said Norton. He was concentrating on grinding his knuckles into Rob's head. It hurt, but Rob didn't cry. He never cried. He was a pro at not crying. He was the best not crier in the world. It drove Norton and Billy Threemonger wild. And today, Rob had the power of the tiger. All he had to do was think about it, and he knew there was no way that he would cry. Not ever. They were still out in the country, only halfway into town, when the bus lurched to a stop. This was such a surprising development, to have the bus stop halfway through its route, that Norton stopped grinding his knuckles into Rob's scalp and Billy stopped punching Rob in the arm. "Hey, Mr. Nelson," Norton shouted. "What you doing?" "This ain't a stop, Mr. Nelson," Billy called out helpfully. But Mr. Nelson ignored them. He kept whistling his non-song as he swung open the bus door. And while Norton and Billy and Rob watched, open-mouthed and silent, a girl with yellow hair and a pink lacy dress walked up the steps and onto the bus. Okay, readers, pause the video. I want you to take a few minutes to sketch out in your mind or to sketch out on a piece of paper what you pictured in your head. What was the movie you made here in your mind? When you're ready, press play. Okay, readers, did you have a chance to make your movie in your mind or to even put your movie onto paper? There's so much that was going on in this chapter that you could have really picked out. And you could have done a few different ones or maybe just one. I know the part that was really sticking out to me was the part where Rob was just sitting there and kind of like taking it from the Threemonger brothers while they were really being mean to him. And even down here when they were yelling, he's got the creeping crowd all over him. I could really picture that in my head. I could picture those boys being so mean and so close to his face. This is the work that we're going to be doing today. So from now on, I want you to remember that reading is not something that's just going to be read every single day. When you're reading, an active reader makes a movie or almost like a play in their heads. When you are getting ready to do your reading work today, I really want you to take some time to write about your reading, but also to make that movie in your head. One example of something that you could be working towards today could look like this. If someone was reading Maniac Magee by Jerry Spinelli, they may have drawn a scene like this. Amanda found out someone ripped up her precious book for confetti after Maniac did something great. And here it is. "Oh no, my book. It's all my fault. I guess Amanda's going to be sad." This is the work you're going to be doing today. So readers, grab your books, grab your reading logs, get some sticky notes or maybe just an open fresh page in your reader's notebook, and let's get started making those movies in our heads.